Mr. Roberto of Ciao Bella Pizza on Farrington Point Road in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut Transition Signature 7 gray lenses with Crizal Alize for your brand new Gucci 1054. Let's see, I can't read it when it's above my head. Color 13V, which is the matte black and the 55 eye size. So let's begin. I'm going to unpackage everything the way Gucci sends it to me. Of course, they send it, well, I'll show you all the accoutrements in a moment. But this is the star of the show, the main attraction. Of course, it comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together while it is being shipped from Italy. And of course, again, this is the Gucci 1054 in the color 13V, which is the matte black. Of course, this also comes in a tortoise. But this is one of my best-selling men's frames. It's got a little touch of the red green, and I'm going to pop out the original demo lenses, one of which it says Gucci, and of course you're going to receive all the manufacturer's original packaging from the frame company to the lens company, just to let you know that you're receiving all of the highest quality materials possible. I'm going to take your frame, put it into the tracing element of my edger, and hit trace. Everyone wants to know, how does the computer know what shape lens to cut? This is why. A little stylus is going to pop up and it's going to go around and trace the shape of the right side of the frame before moving over and tracing the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Gucci frame and you will receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipts have my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. Of course, Roberto, in your case, they are prescription, so it's a moot point. Now, that is the shape of your lens, that green diagram. I'm going to make it a little smaller, hold it up there. That is going to be the shape of the final shape of the lens that we cut. I'm going to go ahead and magnify while we're working on it, and while we are here, let me go ahead and type in your pupillary distance for your right eye, which is 32. My computer automatically starts at 32.5, so I'm going to hit this minus sign one time because it goes down in ½ millimeter increments. So let's go down here. We're going to get your lenses prepped. Your right eye reads -1 1/4, -50 at 10. I'm going to spin, well actually let me make sure this is down to 0, okay? I'm going to spin the axis wheel of my Marco 101 lensometer to 10. And of course, -1, oop, that's the left lens, evidently, -1 1/4, -50, -1 1/4, -50 at 10. Let me take this out. I'm going to show you that this is your right lens, and again, you're going to receive all this packaging, so when you see me write on this, that's exactly what you're going to get. Your left eye is -75, -50, -75, -50 at 165. So this is going to be your left lens. Now, there's two ways to write a prescription. The old school way is in plus cylinder. That's your astigmatism. That's the way people did it a million years ago. Nowadays, everything is minus. So that's why there's two forms of prescriptions. There's two ways you can interpret this. So, where was I at? 10. -1 1/4, -50 at 10, -1 1/4, -50. I'm going to take your lens out of the original packaging as it comes to me. And of course, just like the frame, it comes with a little plastic laminate on the front of the lens to protect the lens from anything rubbing against it while it is shipping. I'm going to put the power on -1 1/4, put the lens in, rotate it until I find the spherical power comes in clearly. I'm going to find the optical center of the lens, check your astigmatism correction. That looks good, and I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses, which may be too light for you to see. Where'd my pen go? Here it is. So I'm going to darken those. 1, 2, 3. And that is the right lens. Now let me do the same thing for the left. Take it out of the original packaging, remove the little adhesive on there, and of course, let's see, -75, -50, -75, -50 at 165. Spin the axis wheel to 165, back there, exactly halfway between 160 and 170. That's where you find 165. Put the power drum on -75, and I'll zoom in on that later. Find the optical center of your lens, find the spherical component, which is the -75. Check your astigmatism correction. All that looks good there. Put 3 dots on your lenses. Un, de, ocho. And we're going to mark this one L, which stands for not right. which is like me. I ain't right either. Oh, gotta get my stylus. I can't do anything without that. Okay, where was I at? Put everything down here. Okay, I'm making a mess. Oh, that's the left lens. Let's go with the right. The reason why I put those 3 dots on there, if you can see that 1, 2, 3. I'm breaking stuff. Don't worry, this does come apart. You like that special effects? Can you see that move around in there? Ooh. You paid extra for those special effects. But the 3 dots I put on there tells me exactly how your lens has to go in there. It has to be oriented just right. I cannot rotate it. It needs to be straight across on the 180 meridian, which is the horizon for all you pilots out there. But what was I going to do? Oh, this is a block. I like to call it Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. This is what's going to hold it in place in the edger. So I need a double-sided adhesive sticker to attach this to your lens, of which I might have 2 up here. Hang on, little guys, you get over there. Yeah, I think I have 2 left. Okay, 1, 2. The black side is the sticky side. That's how I can get it to stick to my finger. I'm going to put 1 sticky pad there. Where's the second one? 1 sticky pad here. Now on the back is a little silver button, that magnet. That's what's going to hold it in place twice. The first time in here, second time in here. Third time, who knows? I may drop it on the floor. But that little magnet is going to get married to the magnet that's inside there. Pull away the paper to make, again, the black side sticky. Get everything lined up. Now, this blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. If I was to measure vertically and horizontally, the blue cross would be dead center. Your eye is just inset from there. So I'm going to put that black dot, and now see, I got to move this so I can see the other dot here. But the black dot goes in the center. That is your optical center. And those other 2 dots will line up on that orange grid that tells me that everything is lined up perfectly and I do not have it off center at all. Hang on, I'm a perfectionist and I got to aim for the center of the bullseye. The bullseye ain't good enough for me. I want the center of the bullseye. Then I hit that button, and what do you know? The block comes down and is now attached to your right lens. Let's do the same thing for the unright lens. Of course, take the block, pull the paper away, make the black side sticky, let the magnet hold it in place, get everything lined up. That is your optical center. That is why, oh, speaking of which, the pupillary distance for your left eye is 31. It is mirrored over from the right, which was 32. So I'm going to hit this minus button 2 more times because it's going to go down in ½ millimeter increments. 31.5, 31. And that has moved that little box further this way. So I'm going to play catch up, move it to where it's supposed to be. That is now the pupillary distance, your optical center. And using these 2 dots that line up across, that is now on the perfect meridian. Hit the button and the arm's going to come down and place the block onto the left lens. So this is the actual edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy one, put it on your kitchen counter, and then you can cut glasses at home. You won't need me anymore. You can make pizza and eyeglasses. The actual part of the machine that's going to do most of the work is over here on the far right. That is the cutting wheel, the stuff that's covered in sawdust now, but that's what's going to grind your lens down to its the final size. This wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. And now the magnet, which you see on the back here, that little silver button, it's going to do its job a second time. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. But I'm going to touch this button here just to wake up your computer. I'm going to pull up the shape of your lens onto the computer with the little white chuck on there. Doesn't that look so cute, the blow up of it? Of course, that one looks brighter. That one looks bigger. It's getting older and fading. I need to get some new ones. Okay, so your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. I do not want to polish the edge of the lenses. I do not want to put a bevel on the front surface. I'm only going to put a bevel on the rear surface, which is the concave surface of the lens. I'm going to hit that green button, the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, a clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be moved up and it's going to be traced by 2 white styluses to make sure that this lens is large enough to fit in this frame. You can see as it's going around tracing, and it's actually going to do it twice. It's going to measure the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so your lens fits best cosmetically in the frame with the least amount of edge thickness showing. Now, you don't have a strong lens anyway. I cut some very strong lenses all day, and it's more critical for other people's prescriptions, but it doesn't hurt to try 100% even for some of the weaker prescriptions. Now, if you notice, there's water running in the back. You can see light flickering, but polycarbonate lenses cut dry where plastic and high index plastic cut wet. So that is your lens as it touches down on the cutting wheel, and it will slowly get smaller and smaller and become the final shape. Now, as I mentioned before, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. These are Essilor brand lenses. Essilor calls polycarbonate airwear because your lenses are as light as air. The TR stands for transitions, the Roman numerals for 7, V11, and the GY is gray. So polycarbonate transition 7 gray lenses. Of course, what do you know? It says it in big print right there, the signature 7 gray. It also comes with Crizal Alize. Now, polycarbonate, your lens material, is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. Your lenses are virtually unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in intense direct exposure to the sun, this is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now, if you notice, it has just traced it twice just to double check its own measurements previously, has its own check and balance system. And actually, if you look closely, your lenses are flat around the edges, just like a nickel. I could take it out of the edger now and it would stand up on its own. Now it's getting the V-shaped bevel applied to the lens. Now, the other thing about your lens is the Crizal anti-glare coating. That coating is 3 features in one. The first feature is that it eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from stoplights, street lights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights. The second feature, it's an anti-reflection lens, and you can see how the light reflects off of this lens in my right hand but not the left. So when someone's looking at you, it makes for a much better eye contact. Plus, the most important reason people get is the cosmetic value. If someone takes your picture with a flash, you don't see the flash lit up in the lens. You see just your eyes, whether you take a selfie or if you take the picture. The third feature that I like, which is the practical side, is it comes with the hardest scratch coating in the business. The machine that applies the anti-glare coating costs well over $1 million. It vaporizes 7 different layers onto the lens. It takes over 24 hours because of the time and the expense. They put the strongest. I'm going to open this door with my mind. Did you like that? But because of the time and expense involved, they're going to put the hardest scratch coating on top of that to protect their investment. Everyone likes it when I open the door with my mind. I can do other things with my mind too, you know. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes a couple hours, but I can do it. You don't believe me? Okay. I can also make margaritas disappear. But I need my lips to do that. I can't do that with my mind. Alright, so I'm going to tuck the lens in at the outside corner, press down at the nose, and it snaps right in. Let's go ahead and start cutting your left lens. Flip that over to L, hit start. The door closes. The clamp shuts. And then again, just like before, it's going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure this lens is large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's actually going around, going around that way. And of course, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you end up with the least amount of edge thickness possible, of which you have none. So let's go here and over here and inspect the lenses. I'm going to pull the sticker off. That's no longer needed. Oh, I need the card. So again, your prescription is -1 1/4, -50 at 10. Spin the axis wheel over to a 10. Put the lens inside my Marco 101 lensometer, my dusty one. Now's a good time for you to look and see how much dust is on top. But I'm going to check and read your prescription, and I'm getting -1 1/4. Can you see that? -1 1/4. minus 1 1/4, 1 tick mark away from 1, starting at 0, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4. I'm now going to check your astigmatism correction, which is 0.50, and I ended up at 175, 1 tick mark away from 2. The unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. Again, starting at 0 and going up in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4, and so on. You need 5 steps of correction for your farsightedness. You are nearsighted. Without your glasses on, you can see everything up close wonderfully, but you need to put glasses on to see far away. You need 5 steps of minification. That's why there's a minus sign. It needs 5 steps of minification. Without your glasses on, everything is actually much too large. It appears larger than it is in real life. So when you put your glasses on, they shrink down to the correct size. Now, once it's the correct size, you need 2 steps for your astigmatism. Now, there is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. That is it. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. You don't freak out if someone has straight hair or someone else has curly hair, but that's it. Everyone freaks out over that word. I don't know why. But this first number makes everything the correct size. The second number, astigmatism, is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. Think of it as the fine-tune knob. And we're going to turn that knob to 10. Now, a straight line is from 0 to 180 with 90 in the middle. 0, 90, 180, 270 for those of you keeping score at home. So we're going to start at 0 and turn that knob to 10. That's it. That's all we're doing, is turning that fine-tune knob. Now, the reason why we ended up at minus 175, remember high school algebra where you add 2 like signs together? Yeah, don't worry, I've forgotten all that stuff too. Let's use today's terms. If someone had borrowed $1.25 from you and then they borrowed another 50 cents, they would owe you $1.75. That's where we're at, 175 in the red. Now your left eye is going to be a combined value of 1 1/4, and we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 165. Now, only 3 steps for farsightedness, still another 2 steps for astigmatism correction. Now, these first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number can be anywhere from 0 to 180 and really doesn't mean much. Of course, these first 2 numbers don't mean much to you anyway, but they mean something to me. Alright, so the left lens is done. I'm going to hit that button, take the lens out of the Chuck, the Charles, the Charlie, the Chucky baby. Can I call you Chucky baby? Alright, so I'm going to scrape all the optical sawdust off the edge of your lens. That's why I can't have nice thumbnails. Okay, so where'd your frame go? There it is, down here. So I'm going to take your left lens, tuck it in at the outside corner, press down with my thumbs, it snaps in, pull the block off, break that traction. Let's go down here and measure, inspect the left lens, again minus 75, minus 50 at 165. We're going to turn that knob to 165, put the left lens in there, check, and I am getting minus 75, 3/4 of the way away from 0 and 1 tick mark away from 1. You have 2 steps of astigmatism correction, which would cause you to squint, because when you squint you change the shape of your eye, and that's what we're doing here. The second curve, so we're at 1 1/4, so that is made perfectly. Now, some people think 10 and 165 are very far apart. Not really. You are 10 degrees. Remember, if this is a 180 meridian, you're 10 degrees away from it on one side, but you're at 165 over here, which is 15 degrees away from the 180 meridian. Now again, it could be anywhere from 0 to 180, and you are 10 and 15 degrees away from there, so that's really close to being the same number. Now your pupillary distance is 32 in your right eye, 31 in your left, for a combined value of 63. I'm going to place my PD stick and place it against my thumb on your right lens. The 0 that's over there, and when we measure against the left lens, we're getting 63, so that is made perfectly. And this is the point in every video that, as I clean these off, I explain to everyone that when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the United States, but when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that your lenses could be, that the frame could be too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. But for now, I'm going to get your frame in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I'm going to set them on the counter and press down. A little bit of a wobble, so I'm going to adjust that briefly here. Press back down, no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and I press down on the counter, they wobble, but they sit level on me. So let me see what I can do. And of course, I'm wearing my Versace $31.99, color 5118, the dark blue with the Havana. For those of you keeping score at home, flip this over, press down. There is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. Check each tension on each hinge, and that looks good. And I'm just about to expose these to a strong burst of ultraviolet light to show you what the transition lenses look like. But before then, I just want to say that I looked you guys up on the computer. Of course, with me working 7 days a week and 100 hours a week to get everything shipped, it's hard to get over there, even though you're only about 30 to 45 minutes from my house. But you guys have some great ratings on Google and on Yelp. You have both, you know, all the Italian food that you can ever imagine, plus some of the Mexican specialties. Hopefully you have margaritas over there, because if you will, I will drive 45 minutes at midnight just to try one. Of course, my wife, that's right, honey, you're going to have to drive me back. But the best thing is someone gave you a 5-star review on Yelp. I happen to recognize her name because she had her picture up there. I dated her best friend in high school, and she guys gave you a 5-star review, which is more than she's going to say about me. Maybe I get a 1 or 2 star from her. That's pretty funny. What a small world. I didn't even know she was still in the area. So, okay. Oh, by the way, before we go any further, of course, everything comes. This is your Gucci card of authenticity, where you can register your product with Gucci. There is a serial number on the inside of the right temple. It better be there somewhere. Where is it? Right temple, left temple. And you register with Gucci for your product if you like. You don't have to, but some people like to do that. Let me close everything back up here. Now, it comes with the Gucci bag with the Kissing G emblems on the chain, as they call that. This is how it comes. Of course, Gucci started in Florence, Italy. They call it Firenze, which is actually where I honeymooned with my wife. See, honey, it all ties together, from 1921. But no, we did not get married in 1921. This is your Gucci case, your Gucci cleaning cloth. And of course, the case stores flat if you want to put it in your back pocket. And when you do need it for protection, it unsnaps, it unfolds, and opens up, and then you can put your glasses in there for protection, and then it will snap shut. Those Italians are great. They're always pushing the fashion forward, and they're just going to come up with great stuff. And if this were only smell-o-vision, you could smell how good that Italian leather smells. Absolutely incredible as I hold it in my hand. And of course, it too has that same pattern, which is the Kissing G's on the inside, but I don't think my camera is good enough to pick it up along this felt background. Let me fold this back down for now. Of course, I'm going to have to open it back up when I ship to you. But this is what your lenses look like while they are clear. I'm going to go ahead and expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light in my little transitions box over here in the corner. And I'm going to hit the button to turn on the light. And as you will see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for all transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, about 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now, Roberto, this is very important. Pay attention. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1, giving them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun, and they're going to continue to darken every day for those first 2 weeks until they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they won't work is when you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that would cause your upholstery to rot or your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day. That's why transitions don't work in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle or one of those little Italian scooters, then they will darken. They're also temperature, or as soon as you step out of the car, they're darkened too, but you have to be in direct exposure to the sun. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning when it's 85 or 90 degrees and below, they will get darker than when it's over 100 degrees. When you're miserable, they're miserable. Everyone's miserable when it's 100 degrees outside. So that's it. If anyone has any questions about what I can or can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Roberto, that's just fun to say. I apologize. I know that's not the way you pronounce it, but that's how I've been pronouncing. I apologize for having fun, but I love what I do and it shows. But I hope you enjoyed watching as I made transitions gray lenses with Crizal Alize for your new Gucci 1054 color 13V, which is the matte black in the 55 eye size. And hopefully everyone else has got a chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.